Welcome to my channel. So in this video, I'm going to talk about Darakaraka in the 8th house of the Navamsha chart. Okay, so it can be a Darakaraka, it can be your 7th lord of the D1 chart or the D9 chart. It will be applicable, but specifically I am making for Darakaraka in the 8th house. Okay, so without wasting time, let's restart this video. But before it, please subscribe my channel, follow me on Instagram if you want to take my personal consultation. So please check the link in description. Also, if you want to take spiritual counseling, or if you want to take a personalized meditation for the fulfillment of your wishes in the sense that releasing you from the karmic debt. Okay, it doesn't mean that if you want to get something like I want to get this person back, okay, so that type of wish cannot be fulfilled, right? It is basically what is best for you will come to you, so this will work in that way. Okay, so let's start this video. So 8th house of the D9 chart, what it shows, 8th house of the D9 chart shows that how much long lasting your marriage will be. Okay? Basically, so the planets placed here will tell you how long lasting your marriage is going to be. Will you have a long lasting marriage or not, or it will end up in divorce. Also it shows that if your married life will be peaceful or not, if you will have problems in your marriage or not. Okay, so this is a very important house, and the planets placed here play a very important role. Now one thing you need to understand, what is Darakaraka? Darakaraka is the planet that holds the lowest degree. Okay, so now the Darakaraka is getting placed in the 8th house. Okay, in the 8th house Darakaraka is getting placed. Darakaraka basically shows the characteristics of your spouse. Okay, simply by looking at the Darakaraka, you will be able to know many things about your spouse, the past of your spouse, what kind of person was your spouse in the past, how the person will behave with you, what kind of mentality your spouse will have, and the profession also. So basically characteristics of your spouse is seen from Darakaraka. Okay, and Darakaraka can also show if it is well placed, then if your marriage will be long lasting or not, and the relationships part also Darakaraka shows, right? So 8th house also shows the disappointment that you can get in your marriage. Darakaraka in the 8th house shows your life will transform after marriage. Okay, your spouse is going to be very secretive person, and also you will be the person who will hide secrets from your spouse. So what you have to do, you don't have to hide secrets from your spouse. Darakaraka shows what is the feature of your spouse, characteristics of your spouse. Okay, so here it shows that very secretive, introvert kind of personality your spouse can have, not very communicative. Like some people are kind of introvert, they never express their feelings, they never express what they are thinking inside, they show something else and they think something else. So that type of personality your spouse can have. If a Scorpio is sitting here, then this thing will be very prominent, because they will be very secretive, and it will be very hard for you to understand what they are thinking. Okay, they will be clever also, they can be quite possessive also, and will not want to see you with somebody else. Okay, so that kind of personality your spouse can have. Also there can be a lot of uncertainty in your marriage, like ups and downs in the marriage, and you can meet your spouse in a very very different kind of situation, so that thing can also occur. So basically it shows that ups and downs in the marriage and the relationship will be there. Sudden transformation after marriage, sudden meeting with your spouse. Also your sometimes if malefic is here or afflicted Darakaraka is sitting here, then disappointment in marriage can also happen, and separation can also occur if Darakaraka is afflicted. Okay, I am not making you scared, but I'm just letting you know what can actually happen. So if Darakaraka is afflicted here, then you need to be careful, because you can get disappointment, because 8th house represents disappointments, distress and all that things. Also it shows that there is a karmic connection with your spouse. There is some karma that you have to clear with your spouse. Karmic connection is not always bad. It just means that you and your spouse both may have to clear some karmas together, okay? And after that karma is cleared, you both are allowed to live happy life, okay? So longevity also is very much dependent here, okay? Now from here, your Darakaraka will aspect your second house, okay? So it also shows that your spouse will play a very important role in your money management, in your finances, okay? And your spouse is going to be very much family oriented and very much focused on the financial part. Also it shows your spouse can be the one who may manage finances in the marriage, okay? So this financial part can be managed by your spouse. Your spouse also will be very much focused on the savings, will want to save all the time, okay? Also your spouse can be someone who can be a little bit aggressive or argumentative, or quite possessive and jealous type of, okay? So depending upon which planet is ruling, this thing can happen. Now let's talk about planets. If sun is ruling your Darakaraka and sits here, then in that case it shows that your spouse will help you to know many secrets of your life. It shows that your spouse will help you to know many secrets of your life. Like after marriage, you can know your past life. Your spouse will be very dominating person. Your in-laws will also be very dominating. Sun also shows that very authoritative spouse you can get. Okay, there can be ego clashes, so you have to be careful. Here, sun burns the qualities of the house where it sits. So it is good because the sudden ups and downs that were to occur in the marriage won't occur now, okay? So it will protect you from the sudden ups and downs. Also, sun in the 8th house is basically a good placement only, as it protects you from the negative impact of the 8th house. So that's why your spouse will be the one who will help you to come out of problems of your life, or many problems of your life will be solved because of your marriage or because your spouse comes in your life, okay? So sun is well placed here, but still your spouse will be very secretive person, okay? And you don't have to hide secrets from your spouse. If moon is here, so moon is a planet, a very emotional planet, okay? It is your Darakaraka, which shows your spouse is going to be very emotional, and now it is being placed in the 8th house. 8th house shows sudden ups and downs. 8th house shows ups and downs, disputes, and originally ruled by Scorpio, and now moon is getting debilitated here, okay? Basically it is considered debilitated only, but sign also matters. If it is a debilitated sign or Saturn sign like Capricorn, then it can create emotional distress, okay? So your spouse can face mood swings, sudden emotional ups and downs, okay? Sometimes getting angry, sometimes getting sad, or like always mood swings can happen. You can also feel disappointment in the marriage. So you have to understand one thing, that if you want to make your marriage work, you will have to control your emotions, okay? You will have to make your mind stable, otherwise the marriage will not work. Sometimes we get over possessive, sometimes we get angry on little things, and that's why fights occur in marriage. Moon is what? Mind. Moon is emotions, but moon is also mind, and it behaves like the sign it sits in, the house it sits in. So moon is not good in the 8th house, which can create issues with your emotional stability. So if you want to make your marriage work, you need to understand that you have to let go of the small things. You don't have to fight and argue, and understand your spouse's emotions, okay? Because sometimes in emotions your spouse can behave in a negative manner which you may not like, so you have to be careful regarding that, okay? Venus here is well placed. It can show very intense, passionate spouse who can be very creative, can be very sexual also. So very romantic, intense relationship you can have with your spouse, especially if it is well placed, it is with good planets, okay? And it is not afflicted affected, then it can show very intense, passionate, romantic relationship. It also shows your spouse will bring wealth in your life, your wealth will increase, your career will grow. Suddenly you can get wealth, okay? And your spouse will be romantic, creative, and kind of introvert. It is also possible that you hide your relationship from the people before getting married, or you are the couple who likes to hide the things or not reveal on the social media like it happens nowadays. So keeping your relationship to be very secretive from the public, okay? So that thing can happen, okay? If Venus is afflicted here, it can show disputes, losses, diseases, okay, separation. But if Venus is well placed, it is very good here, okay? Well placed means not afflicted. Your spouse will be very much devoted towards you. No matter what, your spouse will be with you even in the worst situation and will not leave you. But you don't have to hide secrets from your spouse, because it is possible that you can hide secrets from your spouse, or your spouse can always be thinking that you are cheating on them or something like that. So always in the fear. So your spouse can have fear, okay? So that thing can happen. Mars is a Darakaraka. It shows very aggressive spouse, okay? Fights, arguments can happen between you and your spouse, so you have to be very careful, okay? Don't fight, argue with your spouse, because you can get a spouse who can be like that, who can be very possessive about you. So they get conflicts also can occur. But if Mars is well placed here, you both will do anything to fight for the marriage, to make the marriage work, to put efforts, because Mars is efforts, okay? If Mars is well placed, then we put efforts. Also, it will be better if you marry someone who is manglik, because you are quite passionate, okay? You want energy, you want spark, you want fire. So if you get someone who is same just like that, then that thing will be better for you, okay? So if you get that type of spouse, it will be better for you, right? So it shows that your spouse can be lustful. So if you think that you are lustful, or you are someone who can cheat, then you need to avoid it, because if you do it, then your spouse can also do it, and you can face heartbreaks, okay? Now if it is Jupiter, so Jupiter is good here. Jupiter shows introvert spouse and someone who hides feeling, but who is very wise, very mature, religious. Even your in-laws are going to be religious. Your spouse will manage your wealth. Your wealth will increase after marriage. Your life will transform in a positive manner, okay? You will be very much tension free, worry free, and enjoy your life. Your spouse will also help you to manage your expenditures, your spendings and earnings as well. So you can also, after marriage, you can also buy home and car and luxuries and vehicles and all that things. So it is a good placement. Now if it is Mercury, so Mercury here shows your spouse will be very shy kind of, an introvert who doesn't communicate with everyone out there and speaks very little. When your spouse be alone with you in the room or anywhere, they will speak a lot. What in the public, they won't speak that much, like kind of shy kind of personality. Also your spouse will be very youthful and can be in the field like data analysis or dealing with secret informations, okay? So that kind of thing your spouse can be. Can also be into astrology or science, or in a medical field where they have to deal with the secret information, okay? So that type of spouse you can have, right? Your spouse can also be someone who is very lonely, who loves to spend time in loneliness, who loves to be alone most of the time. So that type of spouse also you can get, right? Your spouse is going to be business minded and very much intelligent, can also be very good in dealing with stock markets. Now if it is Saturn, so Saturn can give you fear, unknown fear. Saturn in the 8th house gives fear. So there can be fear of broken heart, there can be fear of getting cheated, but it will give you long lasting marriage. Your marriage will not break easily. It will be very long lasting because it is Saturn, okay? So Saturn will make the marriage long lasting, right? Also it shows that your spouse will be very wise, matured, and very much secretive, very much introvert, okay? So your spouse is going to be very much introvert kind of person, who loves to hide feeling. Your spouse will help you in your career. After your spouse enters in your life, you can have career growth, or you will put very much efforts in your career, or your spouse can be from the same career field who will help you in the rise of your career. Also, your savings can become hard. Maybe your expenditures may increase after marriage, so savings may become hard for you. Okay, so you need to focus on your savings as well, right? Also, it shows that for the getting the comfort, for having a comfortable life, you may have to work really hard. You may have to work hard for getting the comforts. Okay, so then only you will be able to have a comfortable life, a peaceful life with your spouse. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful. Please don't forget to subscribe. Take care. Bye bye.